doing it. He says, don't call it a kiss cam. He prefers jumbotron and says the band is just trying to say hello to people. Martin says life throws a lemon, and you got to make lemonade. Steve Case and CBS News.
France is struggling with over-tourism. In Paris, residents say local shops are disappearing in favor of stalls selling trinkets to people taking selfies. The city welcomed 48 million tourists last year and could set another record this summer. I'm Gavin McCormick, CBS News. Yes, on Route 99 FM. Tuning 99.5 FM or listen live online at Route99FM.com to catch all your favorite features non-stop and direct. On Guam's rules to all countries Route 99 FM. In a computerized world, semiconductors are vitally important to how things all around us work, from phones and televisions to cars and streetlights. Plasmas, the fourth state of matter, produced in modern microelectronics manufacturing. We'll explore how a U.S. company got the competitive edge in the global semiconductor production market as a result of a 10-year partnership between NSF, industry, and academia in the U.S. National Science Foundation's Discovery Files. And semiconductors, over half the steps where chips are being made, 5% use throughout the whole process. Jeremiah Williams is a program director at the U.S. National Science Foundation. Recently, Lam Research, a U.S.-based maker of semiconductor fabrication equipment, unveiled a new product that can reliably mass-produce the exquisitely complex circuits required for future electronic applications, particularly those involving artificial intelligence. This new, precise semiconductor etching technology was first imagined nearly 2 decades ago. The development really took off when a small team of scientists supported by a partnership between the U.S. National Science Foundation and Lam Research came together to advance the scientific and engineering work necessary to create this breakthrough technology for U.S. industry. And after about 10 years of funding, lots of careful experimentation, figured out how to control the ions, and it was just released and sending out for us in semiconductor manufacturing companies. Learn more about this research by listening to NSF's Discovery Files podcast, Plasmas in Manufacturing. And when you want to follow that song, when you are in this state, where you're relaxing, your voice, your conversation, we're talking about what matters most to you today and in the future. We want you to be part of it. Got something to say? Bring it in. If opinions, bring them on. Let's talk, let's debate, let's connect, because every voice counts. Our WhatsApp is at 671-922-1051. And the chat line is at 922-1052. This is Talk Radio for everyone. This is Radio 105 FM, the Talk Love.
You're traveling on VPN. This is Science, and I'm Alan Davidson. When we travel, we all like to protect our valuables, and that should include online security. So if you don't use a virtual private network when you're away from home, you should consider it. A good VPN serves as a barrier, protecting your phone, tablet, or laptop when using public Wi-Fi. It prevents your data and services from being intercepted, monitored, or even attacked by malicious actors. Think of it as a private pipe for the data streaming over the internet. By encrypting your data stream and masking the charger, VPNs give you a vital layer of network security. iVPN offers a fair balance of security and cost. It can keep you secure without taking your budget at ivpn.net. With somebody, I'm Alan Davidson for CBS News.
The views and opinions expressed in this show are those of the show host, guests, and others. They do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the staff and management of Wave 105 Eastern, Vintage Media, or any of our partners. As we strive to provide quality, respectful, and engaging content, we welcome you to participate in the conversation. Thank you for tuning in to Wave 105 FM from Florida, Guam. Enjoy the show. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. We're about to get started with our star, Pinas, the Guam Pinoy voices here on Wave 105.1 FM. Big shout out to first friends over there at Burger King. taking care of you. You could check them out and get yourself some barbecue. Get Whoppers meals available. And don't forget to vote for our friends at Burger King for Best Burger. That's right, on People's Best. Be sure you do so and eat some BK today. You will. Let's go ahead and get the show started. Saturday, mabuhay listeners, are tuned into Pinas to Guam Voices. Pinoy Voices on Wave 105.1, and I'm Louella, Losinio, and it's still August, so we're still celebrating Buwanang Wika for Filipinos, Filipino language. So today's show, of course, as we are playing along with the theme, is all about language, art, and culture. So we've got some discussion lined up for today's show. So in the first half, we have a group from Eskwelahan Munti, or in that's Filipino for small school. It's correct, no? Small school? Little school. I could say that because it's made Munti. Munti is like, it's used to describe children, right? Usually small, tiny, yeah. So it's actually a Filipino. It's not language. It's an outreach program. Yeah. So and then after we will have in the second half we'll chat with local artist Mark Tenorio. Mark Tenorio. Sorry, I haven't had my coffee yet. Not working. Mr. Brown, but yeah, this is my first coffee for the day. Sorry about that. So Mark Tenorio, who has a show currently at Caracas. So we'll talk to Mark later. So it will be an interview about art and language. So that's aligned with the theme for one of these course. So of course, it's going to hear people. So that's really interesting because I know I've been in conversations with a lot of generations of younger generations of Filipinos here on island who are really interested to get in touch with their that particular part of their heritage. I mean, being, of course, they're more Filipino Americans, right? But a lot are interested in learning more about the Filipino language. So I thought, sorry, I'm just looking at the questions I was supposed to Okay, so for those who are not Eskwelahan Munti, I think this is an awesome outreach program, right? So, can you talk about it, the program itself? What is it all about? And I know you have, I think you have classes, right? Classes twice. Yeah. So, and of course, let's start with introductions. I'm so sorry. So, the question hasn't kicked in yet. So, maybe 5 minutes. But Miss Gloria Gabion, Miss Charlotte Angel, Mr. Romy Angel. So, Miss Gloria actually runs daycare centers. Miss Porter, she has experience with children. And Miss Charlotte, Mr. Romy Angel, they're part of the Philippine Community Council. They're also educators. Miss Charlotte is part of the Guam Education Board, if you're not all familiar with that. So, but, two languages. Okay. You may have seen her, right? You have taken her class. Yeah, so I guess, yeah. Yes, so even my son took your class, right? So we can talk about Eskwelahan Munti a little bit more, so whoever wants to, to talk about it. Yeah, it's fun. Okay, that is it about. So, this earlier, I'm Gloria Babino. I'm acting principal in Eskwelahan Munti. Eskwelahan Munti was started in 2010. But because of the COVID, they failed after 9 years. And then they stopped for how many years, right? And then we revived all this 2024. So this is only the third session that I'm doing this for now. Oh, sorry. Wow. Yes, for now. And this is under the operation of Filipino for center. With the help of Filipino community exchange, okay, and Filipino birthday. Oh yeah, so this is also a tie into the Philippine culture. So that's not really traveling. Because before we stay there for one session. One session. So I remember for you had to say, because now it's going to be in a different area. Yeah. Anything venue was the last. Yeah, because last time they had that election. Last time. So they said maybe we can go to other things. So to the general city office is coming down, they accept us. So we stay there. And then until now, we will do that. Oh, that's beautiful. I've been to the place, and it's again, I had a people when we sent out the release the first time, so we were asking where is it. So it is near the Micronesian Mall. Wow. So it's not building, we have to be Fatima. Fatima Street, Fatima Street, Guam. So I'm just curious, how many graduates, do you have an estimated graduates since 2010? Since 2010, almost 300. The total is 194, and then we divide. We have the first meeting is on this day, and then the next is 16. So more than 11 Friday. Oh, that's cool. More than 10. And I heard there are famous names. Oh, yeah. Who would be working with the names? We have a three group, Dalaga. Okay, that is 67, and then 8 to 12. And then the other one after from 18 above. So what I can remember what is that 2017. So 2016 when we had a student in the third level, Norman American. Was it Norman? Yeah, Norman. Yeah, 2015. This is the first one. Yeah. And then, our sister before is Miss okay, so close as one. The one who is in the audience. Yesterday. Okay, that time, she's the one who's speaking in the third level. The third level is for others, I'm not sure. The other, because the beginner and the one, and the second is Miss Brown and Miss C. We have only 4 at the time. And Miss is the principal, Miss Mila. Okay. Who else for? Any names that we heard of, like young classmates? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Here, 2017, if you can remember, in Custodian. Okay. Take Custodian. Was part of the students. Also, former high school, yeah, before the senator before, she was actually, already actually to classes. I remember. Because there's not a GDV. Maybe they had a GDV. And then, one time there's a Miss Brown, 2016. They go there also, because they have a Filipino brand. We have the Miss Terry Parisco. Oh, yeah, it's a long number. They are known. So just for those who were curious, so what will participants if they enroll in the program? What will they learn? Of course, the basic Tagalog words. Because this is conversation, so it's not really the very deep Tagalog words. And these are the words that they're commonly hear. They're probably their parents when they communicate with each other. With each other and their siblings, or it could be their friends, if they are Filipino friends in the school where they are going. Now they would be hearing those words. So once it is taught to them, we expect them. We need to hope from our teachers that they start using the words because a foreign language. So to them, this is in communication work and potential work. This is quite foreign because they don't speak it in the first place. So it would be a foreign language to them. And for a foreign language to be learned easily, you have to use it. You have to talk, you have to communicate with this particular language. Otherwise, it's a dead language as well. So we encourage them to speak even in their classroom setting. Instead of saying good morning, we tell them to say magandang umaga, magandang umaga po. And with the words that we are teaching, with the language that we are teaching, we are also covering the culture of the Philippines. Because we always say that when we're speaking to people who are older than you are, or probably about your age, but higher position in the society, you want to say, all the same people. Because there is the equivalent of that in English is like madam. So that is opo and o. So opo and po would mean again, yes, at a higher level of respect. But the ho and the o would still be there are still words of respect, but of not very, very high risk. Like, for example, if you it's just a friend of your mom, and then you can probably just say, oh. Opo is like that. Opo is more of like your nana, your grandparent, right? Your tito, your tita. So you address them with the opo and the oh my God. So I almost get the po. I didn't know. I thought that when you say over, or is more like you're more formal. Apparently, for is the more formal thing. I think language, but I'm not aware of some for in the language book. So when you talk about your culture, so being an immersive experience at the school one thing. So I know. I saw the graduation, the last graduation. And can you talk about those immersive experiences for like music or dance or yeah? Yes, we also have with us she is ready to be band. She's a singer, a dancer, and she can really do a lot of performances. So it's a part of our like curriculum that we enjoy singing and dancing. I think it's going to make the fashion lively, because of the singing, they learn also how to sing Tagalog songs. Now, more specifically, the national anthem, which is Bupang Nila. So actually, we start the session by singing the national anthem and also reciting the pledge, the Filipino pledge. So, in other words, you're learning the songs, you're learning the poems, because the pledge is like a poem. And at the same time, they are really feeling the music of the language itself. And that is really something that is good for the students to really make them engage, to really capture their enthusiasm, so that they will really listen and they will really participate. What's nice about these kids is that they're not coy, they're not timid. Once you say, they'll do it right away. And I think that is one of the energies that we are getting from our kids when they become so active, even though we are already self-care citizens. We try to catch up with them. So we try to be right. I think for you, that is one of the things that I enjoyed when I was watching the graduation. It's kinesthetic also. So they were like doing the flipping. Flickering is hard, my God. So you guys are not familiar with the dance, right? It's two bamboo poles that what do you call that? Rhythmically, that's enjoyable. It's the Philippines. They're going to teach you another person. It's the Philippine So, can you talk more in detail about for the next classes? I think you have another round right here, September, about the registration and how people, were interested to enroll their kids. Yeah, I want to send something to my It's still going to continue before we go to it's still good. Yes, because I have it's like I have running volunteer and like with volunteering, sharing the guys, learning, amateur, India, money, teaching, maybe some of the youngest running vehicles, family partners. All of these are volunteers. And we are helping each other. You know, some people are going to meetings, so the others they can teach also. And then we have everybody in their own specialty. Like swimming, music, like in dancing, like owning good, you know, taking exercise, you know, because it's usually director or something in the director. So everybody they are all educators and they know how to teach. So I'm young, just we are 20. Of course, already full. We are full already. And 9 years ago, already doing volunteer for me. 9 years? Oh, 9 years. That's amazing. But you said 11 years, 9 years. So the first year I did not volunteer. I don't forget. During that time, we stayed in Sabina Camino, maybe. Well, this clarifying for the community, what is the reason I did that? It's a community effort. So, right by volunteers. Yeah, volunteers. And I don't remember because I can read the history, but only starting long, very long history, right? It's like we are going somewhere. We have Louella, we have family elementary school, we have Rodi school, we went there, and then we transferred. Yeah, it's got all five houses for exactly. But mostly in Sabina Mundo in the conference. So that's your new building. And now we're building. That's your home now. Yes. But if in case they need that building again, they will dapat mag-pay company. So can you invite the public for those who are interested to enroll their kids, what age range and also where is it going to be held and also how to get in touch with the eskwelahan mo din to. We have a flyer, I think. Information. About information. Well, the registration is ongoing and classes will start on September 6th and that will end November 29 of this year. The meeting is every Saturday, no Sunday, please. Every Saturday from 9 o'clock in the morning to 12 noon. But usually the kids start coming in at around 8 o'clock. So we accommodate them. And this is going to, the sessions are going to be held in room 5 of the Tamundong building, starting at Street Lugon, So more mechanism. Classes, yes. Classes are open to students ages 6 to 17 years old. So, yes, very encouraging the teenagers. Yeah, some of them really were probably a lot of them would like to return back their roots and they would like to learn the language. And also for the we're also extending this to those who may not be Filipino but who are interested in learning the language. We're not to be Filipino. That's true. Our curriculum focuses on Filipino language, of course, and as I was saying a while ago, the conversational Tagalog, the spoken Tagalog. Filipino history, so of course, we capture a bit of the history of the Philippines, the Filipino culture, Filipino music, Philippine dances, so you get to like some of the basic dances of the Filipinos, and many more. And many more learnings that you are going to derive from this session. So I guess hopefully for in the future, because there are inquiries actually from, this is surprising experience, so from wives or with husbands who are, not Filipino, but they want their husbands to learn. Yeah, so older. Maybe next time we can I know some people, right? You shouldn't let your husband learn Tagalog. Sometimes that's actually, in my experience as a Tagalog teacher at the UOG and teaching Tagalog at the University of Guam, there were times that I had Americans. And then of course, the first thing I asked them, why are you teaching this course? There are so many foreign languages offered at the university. Why not Greek language? Why not Chinese or all this stuff? Why Tagalog? Well, ma'am, I'm married to a Filipino here. And every time my wife gets mad at me, I don't know the meaning of what she's saying. But then I answer them, well, I'm so sorry, sir, but if you're not going to learn this words in this class, not in this class, and they start in that class. I think this is hard. That's so bad. I think Miss Dolly, so, I mean, now the what do you call it now, the husband show. What do you call it, the advantage of learning. And only last semester, I did from Canada. And of course, they're asking about the Tagalog language. And then when I asked them, I want to stay on Guam, ma'am, and most of my friends are Filipino. Oh, okay. You want to join them, you want to learn their language. And he has been to a lot of these places in the Philippines. He went to Boracay already with his friends. So he really liked the Philippines. Remember for the there's what do you call it, a Filipino, it's a phrase that we use. Hindi na ka na mabebenta. Remember language? What do we translate it in English? But this is in English, it cannot be sold. Because they already the knowledge of the language that they understand. Even though they could not talk very well in that language, and yet they can understand. And I think that is happening. A lot of our Filipino children sort of understand, but the parents are telling them when they are spoken to with that language, with the Tagalog. I understand, but sometimes, they have this selective listening. But hopefully, Bob, we can do programs like this. We can join and learn more. I know possible. I think we have to go on break, right? For the next step. Oh my God, this is like a really. I can present something. After this, right? Yes, sir. The one who is the African Cultural Center. Oh, this is our president. We shout out. Mr. William. We put up his okay. Long time for 10 years. But now it's way to go. And Vice President and Secretary of Housing Supply and then Martin Dowser, our President, and then the President of Nazi Louis, and then the Advisor Patrick Lucas, and the Reverend Anita Balderino. And all the one who support us. Every person will asking some donation for this. Because only that, our education is only $50 and everything is free. But I think to ask you for things. So that's great. But I want to next time I want to. Okay. I think all the people who study most comfort, very free. That is super. Right? Later one winner of my giving also. Sitting that is, sitting that is. They sponsor. I pay sustainable category. They are all together. Mama, I'm keeping asking. Is that the one who was doing graduation? Or something also. Yeah. Marami po, di ba? So we are so grateful that these supporters are really, they contribute contribute to that big initiative with Thank you so much for. But the next time, maybe we'll bring you back for a full hour, but then it's going to be more of the language, and we'll talk about language and experiences in still having in the kids. Anyway, you have really started. Yes, do sign up. But it's already the end. Yes, of course, already there. But then, I mean, this is a perfectly offer venue for that movie. So those who may not get asked to go there with you. So just I'll let you, Actually, Miss Louella, I just joined this group. Yes, so we just started when they resumed the initiative. And that was clear about it. I'm enjoying it, even though my husband and I have a very hectic schedule. Yes, so I was we are there to supply to the product service. We're enjoying that, right? We're enjoying what we are doing. And I think that is important that you like what you're doing. And the players from my life. And the players, they're very responsive. They're very loving. We learn so easily. Oh, yes, so we invite you, yung mga kababayan natin dyan, na may mga anak na maliliit, at gusto nilang matuto ng Tagalog, ang kanilang mga anak, o kaya yung mga lumalapit pang anak nila, pwede po sila magpunta at mag-enroll sa Eskwelahan Munti. This is September 6th. It's coming up next Saturday.
Mga kababayan, mga pilipinong magulang, I would like to call your attention to participate and support Eskwelahan Munti. Ang Eskwelahan Munti po ay para sa mga kabataan na dituturo na sa Guam na hindi marunong ito ng Tagalog at wala pong kalaman tungkol sa kultura ng Pilipinas. Ito po ang malaking pagkakataon para sa inyong mga anak na matuto po silang salita ng Tagalog at malaman ang kultura at ugali ng mga Pilipino. Bukod po sa awiting pambansa. Kaya ito nilang matutuhan ito at maunawaan ang kahulugan ng awiting pambansa ng Pilipinas. Bukod po sa mga awiting Tagalog, sayaw Tagalog, matutuhan po nila ang mga lawang Pinoy, tulad ng puto, tulad po ng taguan. Marami po lahat. Marami po silang matutuhan. Kaya mga magulang, inyo pong ipanan ang inyong mga anak sa programang ito, ang Eskwelahan Munti ng Guam. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you po. Maraming salamat po.
Today, Guam engaged in a conversation with both civilizations of Guam, the Johnny and North County. We want to hear your concerns and comments. Who do you want to learn from the line inside? Coming in at the Philippines on May 105. Let's go to that combo. Starting at 5 with fries, a drink, and a burger with 1, 2, or 3 patties. It's a meal that will actually make you happy. Starting at $5.99. Yes, for lunch and for
We're excited to announce that we're hiring for a variety of positions with some of Guam's most recognized and respected brands, including Coca-Cola, Foremost, Chili's, Girls of the Guam, Subway, Mexico, and Cinnabons. Whether you're just starting out or looking to take the next step in your career, there's something there for everyone. Explore current opportunities and apprenticeship at carlifelong.com. Let's bring opportunities to take away.
close your doors, lock your windows, turn off your lights, and come with me into the Weird Darkness. I'm Dylan Norman, the host of Weird Darkness, every Thursday night from 6 to 8 here on News 105.1. Every week in Weird Darkness, you'll hear 2 hours of stories of the paranormal, supernatural, legends, war, crime, conspiracy, mysterious, macabre, unsolved, and unexplained. Weird Darkness, this Thursday night at 6 on Wave 105.1.
Thank you for all the tips and plans. Take the neighbor from the 125 is going to come around from the Whiskey Church Shower. From now to Music Station, to making home the greatest power. It's got to be 145 on Wave 105.1.
The views and opinions expressed in this show are that of the show host, guests, and callers. They do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the staff and management of Wave 105 FM, Pinas Media, or any of our partners. As we strive to provide quality, respectful, and engaging content, we welcome you to participate in the conversation. Thank you for tuning in to Wave 105 FM of Pinoy Guam. Enjoy the show. We're back here with Pinas to Guam, Pinoy Voices, again being brought to by our friends over there at Burger King. Be sure you check them out and vote for them for Best Burger at Pica's Best. Big shout out to our friends at BK. You roll.
No, I want to eat Burger King after this.
Oh, I'm not. I'm endorsing Burger King. So hungry. But okay, so that is really great. We're having that conversation with the Philharmonic people. Okay, so now we're moving to another interview, time for interview. So we have local artist Mark Tenorio on Mango Bill. Oh God, I haven't had a coffee in my coffee for 30 years. I said Mark. I know it's Mark. So I know Mark and G from one time. So Mark Tenorio is and G. So they're co-collaborators, right? So Mark currently has an exhibit at the Kama Gallery. So it's called Liminal. But liminal means in between spaces, right? Yes, okay, poster. So I wanted to start off with the language game, but then maybe let's just go with the interview first. Yeah. So welcome to Pinas to Guam, and it's our first time to have you. One of the first we call it artists that we brought in. Yeah, actually we're the first. I think we had one, but it was more like we were talking about identity. Filipino identity. So, can I ask, what's the, I know this is so to say, but why liminal? Why did you choose liminal as a theme? Oh, that's cool. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, I see. So it's those spaces that it's like not like a class, but it's more like a transition into something. Like, yeah, I was at the opening, and even we were talking about one, right? The pieces. So there's like, from afar, you can, it's, I can, how do I say this? You can see, the more you get closer to the painting, you can see the differences in, from the spectrum.
you don't see it from the front, but as you get closer, you will see, oh, it actually beckons you to touch. I wanted, I when I touch this, because it has that quality. So it's not just plain black and white, and like, from yeah, it's also, it's different. I cannot explain it, so I guess you have to go to the gallery to look at it, right? Awesome. So also, I know that I kind of gave you I'm gonna be fine answering this question, but I remember that there was one thing that I asked. You asked me, so what do you think? What is this? And I think actually an egg. So I told her, I think that's not an oyster either. I think it was the top of a stone, of a rock. A cross-section of a rock with its layers. So you know that's an egg. So it doesn't have a price. What's the price? What's the price? Expensive eggs. You should go to the exhibit. So there's a piece there. So eggs. And it's so you know how you price, right? You price your and it doesn't have a price because it's expensive. There's a story behind it. Eggs, expensive. So I know one of the going back, but then one of my questions is about language and art, right? So there's a connection between language and art. So do you think is there like for you?
Yeah, of course. They may be separate, but they're not. They like it in terms of when I write a song. I have a song by I have a deal. So I want to write down the feelings that I'm going to write down. So everything is there. So the language, the emotion is, the emotion comes from before the language, before I write language. Also, the lyrics, the syntax, so the emotion comes first before the language. Compared to art now, the emotion is there before our title, before giving the title. And so the language, again, particularly the language of my art is through form, yes, rhythm, color, texture, gesture, so yeah. So the title gives it enhances the
yes. Oh my God. Yeah. I had an experience with your art also. So remember the Pinas, right? Yeah. Pinas had been made. So it's kind of hard, but it's like okay, the first thing is it's pineapple in the dark, right?
It's not even pineapple. Because Pinas is like if you spell it with E-I-N, integral, and white. So in Spanish, it's E-I-N, and then blue, and but this one is the different undertone. So that's yeah. If you translate it, briefly translate it, it's 13. Or, well, there's no pronoun for, the undertone is 13, which could be
Can you just remember to call that, how they say this, the play on words, right? Because Filipinos have a lot of play on words. We love doing that. But that's what I learned about your fashion titles at the mention about your lecture of language. Because that was one of those, I was watching, oops. So I would like to. Well, of course, first time, I'm not going to explain it on air, but you have to just visit the exhibit, find out for yourself, and put the Filipino frame. No, it's wonderful. Isn't art supposed to be like that, right?
So, I'm not really, saying something distinct or specific. But it's up to the viewer to, put something there, interpret it in a way.
could be funny or whatever. So with language, it's like I mean, artists kind of also like it's a collective work. So it's something about you. I mean, even with the language, maybe it's just part of the connection between language and art. Like your title, maybe you might interpret it differently from making your title.
But also, it depends on the viewer. You know, the viewer is in the eye of the beholder. That's the meaning.
Yes. So, but I mean, artistic gift and talent was universal. I mean, I've seen art of on a grammar school level, but then yours is like you can see the pieces, brief pieces, okay, that's language again. But you know, it's like it's so smart skill level. It's not, you know, I mean, people say that art is subjective, but you know that it's practical because it's not, you know, not there, but then works as well. But yeah, so okay, so here's another question about so there's a lot of Filipino creators here, right? I mean, Filipino artists. So do you think, in your experience, the Filipino artists who support you?
Yeah, in terms of cultural showcases, exhibits, you know, just get the support. But we need more, I guess, sustainable opportunities, like exhibitions, galleries, memberships, funding, and so I think we're still being celebrated, but not something like that. So artists, Filipino artists are active and visible, but we need the first step, sustainable opportunities support, which we don't.
I know you have a conversation around, I think, also, I'm not getting political as well. So you're talking about you're thinking funding individuals. You're not in the funding for artists. And now, it's going to possibility of getting those funding cut, even further. So what does it look like to, I mean, not just the Philippine artist community, right?
I'd like to thank personally the Philippine Council for the support they give to Filipino artists, by inviting us to the cultural events, and we get support from the Philippine Council.
They've been great supporters. I mean, over the years, I mean, not just locally, but also up to those of the Philippines that Philippine art and Philippine art and those Philippines. So, also, do you, I mean, personally, do you feel, I mean, does Philippine art have an identity? Do you think?
Yeah. I think of the scenes, like, you can have the landscape, Galilee, Sarangona, definite icons. There's a distinct, there are distinct icons. So those are very much. But Filipino artists under they try to learn and so they but they learn, but they also standpoints before they island traditions, Pacific Island influences. But it doesn't mean that it's erasing something or less. It strengthens the adaptability. So that's what I think.
But you know, I think it's also distinct, right? So the Filipinos and the diaspora, those who are, for example, like, who are based in somewhere else, some other country, some of them incorporate elements from their adopted community is really artistic. Yeah, it becomes a hybrid of university and but for those who are for those who are interested to visit, because it's good. I mean, people should really visit the exhibit. Can you do a shout out to the community?
Would like to invite all of you over there to please, if you have time, free time, to drop by Kaha, Devin, and Daniel. We'll leave the second floor. I have an exhibit called Lumino, and it runs until September 3rd.
Highly recommended. Can I just say, I was reading the article on the Post and the interview, and I was honestly looking at some of the pieces, and I was like, I feel like I might just break down. I'm ready. I want to go down. After I know you went already, but we should go down. Yes, I would love to. And then I'm going to introduce you to the thing. Yes. Tell me what you think. I will.
Tell me what you think of the what you
I got you. I'm not going to say the feeling. I could feel it, the feeling. I think I understand.
just not looking at the signs of the finance.
I love it. That's why I love it. And it's even in the corner I passed by. Remember, I was going inside and I missed it because it was on the side. Because you know how your vision is, right? You look straight ahead. And then once you go back, I'm going to show you something. And then I went back over there. Oh, okay. And then, so the timer was, I know that. Oh, yeah, let's do it out there. We're going to do it. I'll bring it in. I'm going to point to you. No, I'm not going to point. No, you let me find it. I'll find it. We'll just come back and like, oh, this is the one. I know, we don't have enough time, but I'll prepare that to a language game. Or like Proverbs. Like, interpret it. But I think whoever is like, I'm just joking, But then can you do one, I guess this one proverb, right? I'll flip in a proverb. So I'm going to say this one in English, and then translate it into English. And then just tell me what to say to me as a gift. I know, listeners may probably hear me say sige, right? So it's like a Filipino expression like go, get your face, something like that. So just, okay, simple. Okay. So in English, then translated, and what does it mean, right? If someone throws a rock at you, throw him bread. It's a Filipino proverb. Kasi in Tagalog, and then what does it mean? If someone throws a rock at you, throw him bread.
Pag dinapita ng rock, batiin mo na yung pinapay.
Yes!
I guess I know what it is. If somebody does something impressive, respond with or yes, God.
I should just follow them, but they would have done it. That could have been but thank you so much, Maureen. Thank you so much. And also, thank you so much. It's been the conversation is like from language and then art, trying up everything like Filipino. So today's episode showed you how language and art are separable, right? Or connected. So they shape our identity, our stories, and our future also. So from Martina's exhibit, of course, now that we should check out to explain how one is working education. So maraming salamat to our guests. To all our listeners, let's continue celebrating Buwanang Dita by embracing both our language and creativity. So this has been Pinas, Guam, and this is Louella, Losinio on Wave 105.1. Kita Kids ulit next week. Mabuhay ang maraming salamat.
The top of Guam is 105 FM. Hurricane Aaron is a large and powerful storm.
Hurricane Aaron is already creating extremely dangerous and life-threatening rip currents for all of the North Carolina coast.
North Carolina's Emergency Director, William Ray.
This will be a longer duration event, with coastal flooding expected over several high-tide cycles. We will see rain bands trailing Aaron that will also impact the area already saturated soils across the area, which could lead to extended impact.
Despite being offshore, it poses a threat to coastal communities as far north as New England. In the west, the danger is extreme heat in Arizona, Nevada, and California. Meteorologist David Parkinson. The big concern when you have this level of heat and an offshore wind is that generally you do actually have a higher fire risk. That's because the ground is dried out even more than it normally is. The ground is already incredibly dry in Southern California. You do sometimes get some offshore wind events that come through the canyons and increase the wind. In Israel, they're preparing for the offensive in Gaza City, as Remy Losinio reports.
Israel is calling up 60,000 new reservists, which is its biggest call-up ever since the event on October 7th. And the military is also extending service for another 20,000 soldiers that are already operating in the field. So in total, this would bring to 130,000 military personnel on active duty as it ramps up its Gaza assault.
Rosen reports a federal judge has rejected the government's request to unseal grand jury transcripts in the Jeffrey Epstein case.
The documents the government was seeking to unseal included about 70 pages of transcripts of the agent's 2 presentations to the grand jury, a PowerPoint exhibit, and a call log. The judge noted that the Department of Justice's files in the Epstein case dwarf those stemming from the grand jury, and proceedings before grand jury are typically kept secret.
The TSA is working with a private company to bring